Scott, first of all, we look back. It's the Ballard Town game in particular last Friday. A good performance, clean sheet, 3 points. You must have been happy come the final whistle.
Yeah, it certainly makes the weekend a lot better. 3 points and very good performance, I thought. Put two halves of very good football together and created chances, moved the ball quickly. Tempo was very good, and told them very pleased after the final whistle. Look at the game and the turning points, and obviously we've had Paul save the penalty, which, looking back at the highlights last night, clearly see that one, it's a harsh penalty, but it's not even in the box. So I think justice was done on the save.
And if that was a big game last Friday, it's an equally impressive fixture ahead for the New Saints. Scotty have chosen it as their TV game this coming Friday away at Connah's Quay.
Yeah, always big games against Connah's Quay. Did well against them last season, apart from the game early on. Second game in, we lost 1-0 and could have gone either way that day. I think it was heading for a draw, and they took the points on the day. So yeah, always a tough, stern test against Connah's Quay.
And we've referred to the clean sheet, the 3 points, the good performance against Ballard Town. Also, it was the third consecutive win for the New Saints. How important will that be going into the game at the Deeside Stadium?
Yeah, it does. It's if you look at it on the flip side, they drew the game last time round against Aberystwyth. Don't think their manager was too pleased with the performance. So we're going into it with a win and a clean sheet, and they've come off the back of a draw with the team that scored right at the end of the game. So I think it's important that you continue to run, and it gives your team a feeling of being in a position where you go onto the pitch in positive mood and a positive outlook, and it always helps.
And both sides know each other very well. The managers understand the tactics and the approach that the other team will have. What could you do as a manager, what can any manager do, speaking generically, to give them the edge in a situation like that?
You can. You work on them for the previous few weeks, and obviously allow players to see how they've been playing and let them know, really how important and a good size they are, and the sort of, I know it's only 3 points, but when you come up against someone that's around you in the table or above you, it's very, like I said, it's important to get that result. What can you do? You can make sure that they're all up for the game, but do they really need to be up for a game against our rivals? Probably not. So your work is done on how we're going to set up and giving them information about the team and leaving no stone unturned. We know how they play. I don't think they're going to change in their style of play. So I think it's reinforcing any messages that need to be put out there, and any new players that we've got in the squad that have not faced them before, making sure that they're aware of how Connah's Quay play.
The last time we met was in the JD Welsh Cup final, the finale of last season. TNS won 3-0, but our last visit to the Deeside Stadium was just a couple of months before that, and the New Saints started without a recognised striker on the pitch and still won 2-0. Are we likely to see any surprises this Friday, or is it a case of wait and see?
Yeah, never give too much away, and I don't obviously talk about how we're going to set up and whatever, because that does give other people more of an incentive. So no, we'll have a look at it, see how we need to line up. We've also got to take into consideration our previous few matches as well and how we've been doing. So probably won't want to change it too much, but there might be a couple of changes.
And finally, Scott, we've already made reference to the clean sheet, and rightfully so, because prior to that we had gone 12 games in which we had conceded in all competitions. So it was anything but unlucky 13 for the New Saints. As a player, and now as a manager in particular, we all know the world of football is quite superstitious at times. Do you have, or do you have now any superstitions?
I wouldn't say superstitions, but there's obviously things you follow on a match day and things you do maybe the evening before or whatever, and then you maybe get a result that's not favourable, and you think, well, is it worth doing it? And then you go back to it because maybe you've always done it. So I wouldn't say it's maybe superstition, but things that I continue to do and just plan, and that's my the way I sort of plan the week. So I've got a couple of things I do, but I won't be giving them away.